Hello everybody. This is the second time filming this, so 15-minute video second time around has just got to be all sorts of fun. So today we're doing a tag video that I saw She Who Walks Between the Worlds do, but the tag was actually started by LittleCosmicCrow, and so this is a VR to her. It's about a 15-question tag. Last time it took me about 14.5 minutes to do, so we're going to see how this works out the second time around. My tea is almost gone. That just tells you how long it's been. Alright, so number 1. Does your sun sign, zodiac sign, portray you correctly? If not, do your other planetary signs. So my zodiac sign, sun sign, does... Indeed. I'm a Virgo, so it's very accurate most of the time. But I do have a lot of Aries and Scorpio in my chart, as it were, which kind of explains the other things that are going on as far as my personality goes. I am certainly a Virgo, though, like, all the way. But I do understand why there's Aries and Scorpio in there. It makes a lot of sense. So I definitely agree with that. Number 2, what songs bring you the most magical vibes? So I'm going to be very cliche here and say Fleetwood Mac and Enya. And as you know, I do have playlists set up for each deity and then also for my spirit work and then my shadow work as well. I have different playlists set up, and there's probably 40-ish songs on each of those, so every one of them is actually really witchy and powerful, but those are just the ones that come to mind, and I guess those aren't actually songs. They're bands. So The Chain and Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac, definitely, and basically anything by Enya. Enya's great. Also, I do really like Florence and the Machine and George Ezra, but also Hosier because that's just a witch thing. Everybody likes his voice. They're like, is he Hades? No, he's not. He has too much hair. Number 3, which one of your deities, guides, ancestors is most sarcastic with you? So I thought about this for a bit last time. And most of my deities are very straightforward. And I'm not going to say they don't have a sense of humor, because they do. Just, it's more serious stuff, because honestly, I go to communicate with them to get away from just immature bullshit that happens any other time. And I haven't really made contact with my ancestors as of yet, so I'm not working with them at the moment. But I am going to go out and say Apollo probably is the most sarcastic. He's more kind of just easygoing, more easygoing than the others, I guess. I don't know, it's Apollo. Yeah. A lot of fun. I'm not being sarcastic, it's actually fun. Number 5, would you write a book on your craft or spirituality? Oh, sorry, I missed one. Number 4, biggest witchy mess up or misinterpretation. And I'm going to say that this is an ongoing thing. I'm constantly screwing up, as I just did. That's one of them. I'm constantly screwing up, especially in my practice, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just kind of going out on a limb and trying to figure stuff out. So just constantly. It's not one specific instance, it's all the time. But probably the most, something that sticks out the most is that I have tried to work with deities that are not necessarily good for me, that I'm just, I don't know how to say this. Deities that we just don't work well together, and I've tried to get into contact with them, and they're just not willing to do that. And, you know, at the time, I'm feeling really bummed out, because why won't they talk to me? Also, I do tend to rush into dangerous territory, really, without thinking, yes, I've brought things home. Yes, things have followed me home, basically to any place that I've gone. And then there's an instance, me just, trying to think, oh, everything's gonna turn out okay. If I sage this place, it'll be fine. A lot of times, yeah, sometimes though, it's not gonna work out, and there's actually dangerous stuff around. This is way less collected than the first time I did this one. Number 5, would you write a book on your craft spirituality? Why? If you already have, what were your challenges in doing so? So, I didn't know that Harmony Nice put out a book until I saw it on somebody else's channel. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I'm not writing a book on specifically witchcraft. I probably should. I'd probably really enjoy that. But as you know, I am working on a work of fiction that is about witches. The hardest part in that is kind of trying to keep the actual witchcraft and real magic away from the Hollywood view, I guess, of magic, because that can be very detrimental to actually understanding what it is that witches do, instead of what the movies say that witches do, because that's completely two different things. Also, writer's block. Writer's block is a huge detriment to me trying to write, so. Number 6. If someone wanted to summon you to their circle, what 5 items would they need? Honestly, just ask me. Just be like, hey, you want to come over to circle tonight? Yes, why not? But if you're gonna summon me, I wrote down chai because it's my favorite tea. Basically, art supplies. All the better for you if you're actually doing it on the beach, because I love the ocean. I guess it would be okay to also have, like, a jar of ocean water. And cats, and also any other sort of small furry animal. I love ferrets and otters and squirrels and seals and dogs. Little dogs. Big dogs are... I just like little dogs. Big dogs kind of drive me crazy. Also, I wrote down rum, and I really like rum, not because I'm a pirate. Why would you even say that? But because, yes, it's because of that. I really like rum. We had this, raspberry flavored rum the other day, and it was, like, so good that it didn't even taste like alcohol, and I know that's something that an alcoholic would say, but it was actually really good. You can, like, drink it out of the bottle without even flinching. It was really good. You just freeze that into ice cubes and just eat them all day. And then wonder why at around lunchtime you're drunk as a skunk. Anyhow, I think that was 5 things. I'm just going to go with 5 things. Number 7. If you were a ghost, what place would you haunt? Definitely a lighthouse. Close second is a theater, because theaters are always haunted, and I also happen to love the theater. And who wouldn't appreciate me just coming in, moving around some props, being spooky? That'd be great. Number 8. What is the funniest way someone has reacted to finding out that you are a witch? So I was hanging out with a brand new friend the other day at her house, and we were watching Kiki's Delivery Service. And we just kind of started talking about doing witchcraft, and I casually was like, yeah, so actually I'm a witch. And she had been talking about how she had wanted to be a witch. I'm like, I'm a witch. It's not that hard, you don't actually have to, I don't know, wait for someone to tell you, you're a wizard, Harry, or something. And she's like, oh yeah? And she just, like, brushed it off. It's like, that is probably the weirdest reaction that I've gotten, because she wasn't even shocked. Because usually people, as I said earlier, people separate the Hollywood witchcraft from real witchcraft, and then you tell them that, and then it goes straight to this other reaction, which is, wait, do you sacrifice animals? What about kids? I'm like, no, not animals, not lately. And as far as the kids go, I've kind of moved up from the, 2 to 5 range to the 16 to 25 range. It's not a big deal. We like to go out and get those unsuspecting teenagers instead. No. But that was an actual reaction that I got one time. was the whole sacrifices thing, which I guess is normal reaction. Number 8, number 9. Number 9. Do you have any superstitions? Let me tell you something. I'm an extremely superstitious person. If you have a superstition, I probably believe in it, which can be very terrible for my anxiety, in addition to all the other things that are already terrible for my anxiety. Except for the black cat thing. I don't really believe in that because I love black cats, and also he's just trying to walk. He wasn't paying any attention to you, you just happened to see him walking. So not that one, but anything else, the taking your engagement ring off before you're married is bad luck. Haven't had a chance to actually try that out, but I'm going to try not to if the situation arises. Basically everything that is a superstition, I believe in it to some degree, until it gets debilitating, and then you just have to be like, you know what? Get out of my head. I have to focus on this thing. Also, I've come up with this, it's actually more of a ritual than a superstition, but whenever friends or people that I know have passed on, I will bring a coin to my Hades altar. Even if they were specifically very Christian or just completely did not believe in anything that I'm doing, I'm going to leave a coin there anyway, just because I feel like that they need to be looked out for in whatever afterlife that they're in. That's kind of one of my things. As I said, it's more of a ritual than a superstition thing, but I do it anyway. I've had to do that too many times, and it's kind of sad. But it's more of a bringing peace to me thing that I do. Number 10, if you could possess any fantasy magic, what would your power be? Definitely flying is my number 1. Time travel. Where you have your wand and you can just change outfits, like, right away. Be like, hey, those shoes don't match your dress. Swing! New shoes. Also, can you imagine how many sets of clothes and shoes you could have without them taking up space in your closet? People are like, hey, where did you get those shoes? And you're like, I can't tell you. Number 11, what is something random on your altar? So, as a general rule, everything on my altar has a purpose, or I create a purpose. If I don't have one, I'm like, hey, this thing is a color that I would like to put on so-and-so's altar. I guess I can use it for this. But I actually do still have those little Japanese statues sitting on Apollo's altar right now because I haven't actually set up my ancestor altar yet. So they're not really doing anything on Apollo's altar, but they're there. Number 12. If one of the YouTubers you watched was a genie and they could grant you 3 wishes within their power, who would it be and what wishes? Can't be for more wishes. So as you know, Molly Roberts is basically my favorite witch. She was one of the first that I started watching. So my answer to these questions would probably be her. Also, she already has the genie vibe going on. So, like, what's not to like? And definitely my wishes would be for endless art supplies. Probably any art supplies that I ever would want at any given time. And that also includes the drawing paper and the canvases, as well as the paint and the markers and just everything. And this comes from the fact that she is also an art witch and she really loves doing art. So, and the game art job of my dreams. And then also a dream job for my boyfriend, which is not really an art thing, but just because I'm trying not to be selfish with my wishes. 13. If you could instantly become an expert in any part of your craft or spirituality, what would it be? Spirit work. Definitely spirit work. I really love to do it, but I'm really bad at it. Number 14. When you die, what do you think will happen to you and your soul? So I like to think, and I think this was an idea on Tumblr a while ago that I saw, that basically everybody, when they die, they go and they hang out behind the curtain, as it were, talking about the person and the life that they just lived. And I think that there is a specific set number of souls, if you will, that keep reincarnating basically you go change costumes and come back on stage. And they know each other, and they're always like, hey, I saw you so-and-so, maybe I was in a relationship with you, and all of these different souls already know each other. And so it's a very good explanation for when you just instantly click with someone or instantly despise someone. It's because you already know this person, they just have a different face, I guess. And that also makes me feel better inside because of, if you loved someone and you're worried about never seeing them again after you die, like we only have one lifetime to spend together, then you get a little bit of peace from knowing or believing in the fact that you're going to see each other again, you're going to change costumes and agree to meet up. Like, hey, we're both going to go down about this time. This time, we're going to meet up here and here and here, and I'm going to look like this, and you're going to know me because so-and-so. And that everybody is just constantly reincarnating, meeting up, and going back. And I really like that school of thought. Also, a little bit of time, like not too much, but a little bit of time just to be completely at peace with no worries and no physical body. You have to worry about being sick or in pain, or even worry about what you look like, and you can just chill out with this other person who you loved as so-and-so's body, but you feel them even if you don't have a body. That's what I think. I'm sorry, that was long and ridiculous, but number 15, where do you see yourself spiritually in the next 5 years? So basically just continuing to work on myself as a person, and I know it says spiritually, but that's part of it. Work on myself as a person and then work on my craft. Also having a garden and an actual space to put all of my plants, and then a little sun room area to hang them in. And yes, that has to do with my spirituality because I certainly love plants. Also just kind of developing, hopefully getting better at spirit work, getting better at spell work, and just continuing and getting better and better at being a spiritual person and just a witch and a person in general. So, that was 15 questions. It took way longer than last time. But a few things before I leave. I would like to tag Rainbow Pagan because I don't think anybody's tagged him yet, and I would really like to see how he answers these questions because it was a really fun tag. So I will put a link to the LittleCosmicCrow's channel down below, and also probably Rainbow Pagan, and then I'm going to go hit him up on Instagram. So, thank you guys for watching so much, and also, if you want to do this tag, it's really fun. You should leave a video response, or a link to your video response down below. I would also love to watch those. And definitely have a wonderful day. I will see you guys within the next few days, probably. So, everybody have a good day. Don't let your tea get cold. I will see you later.